I make a couple observations, not so much a question. I observe you trusting Lawrence with your child, and because of your outstanding personality and way of making everybody feel comfortable, that contributed mightily to Jay's acceptance in our community. The other observation comes out of years of experience working with survivors, and I had testified to it in the letter I wrote to the Lawrence Journal World, that I recognize that the healing forces that work in people, when they can finally be grateful for each other. How'd I put the rest of it? Each other, and for life, and for the joy that follows suffering and the pain of grief. And I want to witness this day with the tears I've had in my eyes that process is working mightily in you, Rudd, and I am pleased as punch that it is.
Thank you. Well, in the book here, I got to writing about the day Jay died, and I couldn't do it in a narrative form. So I started writing, and it came out as verse. I don't say it's poetry. It came out as verse. And 2 years to the day after he died, the last, we loved to eat waffles. Jay and all of us loved waffles. And he woke up one morning and his housemate said, "Jay, what do you want for breakfast?" And Jay's answer was, "Waffles." Jay went to the bathroom, shut the door, waiting for his attendant to help him out, and she opened the door and he was dead, sitting on the toilet. Instant, painful, untelegraphed death, allegedly the best death that you can have. I'll just read this to you. 2 full years have passed to this day. Father and mother, Rudd and Ann, breakfast where their son used to eat, and on the food, that was his last word, waffles. It was always waffles, as soft as their son's soul, as sweet as his laugh. The order came, but they ordered the same, waffles. Preserve a corner of each meal and visit his grave. Against the sharp wind on this clearest of days, they place the remains of their meal on his cremains, hold each other, bound in memories and gratitude, and give thanks for his glorious life and merciful death. Today, grief is a stranger, gratitude the intimate one, faith the sustainer, and love the victor. And so, that responds to you. Sir?
What I am wrestling with is you have made it clear that Lawrence and the environment was a safe place for your son. And sometimes I feel that people interpret safety as making an environment that is free of risk. And yet you made clear that time after time you took risks because you understood that you had to take risks in order to, as you put it, have people honestly understand one another. And this I think is a tension that needs to be understood and worked on.
Well, it certainly is a tension, and we certainly did take risks. There are many times, Ann's got 3 degrees, I've got 3 degrees, we're supposed to know our way around this business. We were neophytes. There are many things we just didn't know how to do, but we knew what we should do and why we should do it. And in order to get to the what and the why and those consequences of the quality of life for Jay, we did have to take some risk. We were fortunate that in almost every circumstance, there was no bounce back from some of Jay's behaviors or from our taking a risk. There could have been. There could well have been. Well, of course, I love to, yes, sir.
There are 3 people in my life who have had disabilities that were, for me, significant others. 2 of them have been in Lawrence. One is Gary Collette, and the other is my stepson, Todd Williams. And I've noticed in each, I'm a sociologist, look more at how people relate to each other. And what seems to me to be common among those 3 was their uniqueness, that they had something unique that brought not only from me but from others kind of a special kind of relationship. Todd particularly, when my wife and I would take him on Sunday to a steakhouse here in town, we just wrote up the whole evening because he was going to work the room. And long after we were done with dinner, Gary Collette, a Maine veteran from Vietnam, I believe, would challenge people in town, churches particularly, about their weakness in relating to the needs of people in Lawrence. The reaction to him initially would be very resistive and resentful, but over time it turned to respect. And so that now that Gary is gone from town, I have people ask me frequently, well, have you seen Gary lately? It's something that the 3 of those brought out that was unique.
Well, it oftentimes is what differentiates us from each other that makes it possible for people to be part of that community. Isn't that a paradox, though? Isn't it? And it's just wonderful that we have this. I have enjoyed myself tremendously. I think you must be able to tell that from my affect. Your responses have been on the money, and I hope I've been able to contribute to your joy of life, your joy quotient, not your IQ. That's important, but your joy quotient is very important to me today. I hope I've been able to contribute to your joy quotient. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good to see you again.
I went with you.